You know how you can sense when someone is standing behind you in a quiet room? This was the opposite. This was sensing that something was there by the specific quality of the emptiness. I didn't turn around. I wanted to. God, I wanted to. Every fiber of my body wanted to spin around and look. But the teenager's lips were still moving in my memory. Don't turn around. Don't turn around. Don't turn around. I walked to my car without turning around. I got in. I closed the door. I looked in the rearview mirror. The street behind me was empty. I drove home. I told Sarah everything. She listened this time because something in my face must have been convincing enough. "You need to stop going to that intersection," she said. "I know. I mean it. This is obsessive. It's not healthy. I know. Promise me." I promise. I didn't keep the promise. Wednesday morning, I was back. There were 7 of them now. 7 people, walking backwards down 5th Street. Different ages, different clothes, different lives. All united by that same expression of frozen terror and those same impossibly smooth backward steps. I stood on the sidewalk and watched them pass. I counted them. I looked at their faces, and I noticed something new. They were all looking at the same point, not the same direction, the same point. Their eyes converged on a single spot in the air, somewhere above and behind the last person in the line. As each person passed me, their gaze shifted slightly, tracking this invisible fixed point, like sunflowers following the sun, except the sun was something that made people walk backwards in terror. I tried to triangulate. I tried to figure out where they were all looking. I walked across the street. I stood on a bench. I moved up and down the sidewalk, trying to find the angle, trying to see what they saw. I couldn't find it, but I got closer. At one point, standing on the bench across the street, I was almost in the right position. I could feel it. It was like when you're tuning a radio and you're almost on the station, and you can hear the ghost of the signal underneath the static. I was almost seeing it. There was something there, in that specific spot in the air, something that existed at an angle I couldn't quite achieve. I leaned further, and then one of the backwards walkers, the blonde woman, looked directly at me. Not through me, at me, and she shook her head. Just once. Just a tiny shake. No. I got down from the bench. Thursday, I stayed home. I called in sick again. I sat in the kitchen and stared at the wall and tried to understand what was happening. Sarah found me there at noon. She sat across from me and took my hands. "Marcus, I'm worried about you." "I know. You haven't eaten. You haven't slept properly in days." "I know. Please talk to someone. A professional. Sarah, if you stood on that street and saw what I saw, you wouldn't need a professional. You'd need answers." She squeezed my hands.